Good afternoon and welcome to everyone, including those via Facebook and those who are on YouTube. My name is Roland Gale and I'm glad you're joining me today. This is Family Time. Family Time is about your issues and your relationships, your at home family, your community family, and your global family. Family Time is produced by Family Life Ministries, and our aim is to enable healthy families, which will lead to healthy nations. So stay with us and join us via all our platforms. We are on Facebook, we are on YouTube, and those are live. And of course, you can join via Instagram. Now, today we want to discuss, are you getting to that retirement age? In Jamaica, it's 65 years old. Are you ready? Well, you better get ready because it's inevitable. Never fear though. We're planning on guiding you today through the eyes of a psychologist and one who we have a lot of confidence in. And we're going to try and guide you through that next stage of life or to that next stage of life. So the topic of today's show is this: retiring, the best is yet to come. And with that in mind, here is today's question for you. I want you to answer this question, all right? How ready are you for retirement? Here's a question again. How ready are you for retirement? Send your responses via WhatsApp, text, and voice notes. And make sure the voice notes are no longer than 30 seconds. The number is 997-3125, or you can call the studio lines at 968-8327 or 968-8328. And of course, you put the 876 before that. And we encourage you to participate. Get in touch with us today. You can also watch us and comment live on Love 101 Facebook and on our YouTube channel. We're going to be right back with our special guest today, Dr. Leakim Simaj. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a good one.
There are several covenants in the Bible, but 5 of these covenants are foundational covenants that God made with Noah, Abraham, Moses, and David before establishing the new covenant through Jesus. Let's talk about them. Tuesday, July 25, on The Rock, join host Bishop Harold Steve Blair and guests Dr. Wayne West and Michael Diamond as they discuss the topic, the biblical covenants. That's The Rock, Tuesday, July 25 at 5:30 p.m. here on the Family Station, Love 101.
Yeah. Get ready for an inspiring time inside Love in the Morning with me, your host, Jokal Dyer, this Tuesday, July 25. Grab your cup of coffee and start the day right with Morning Coffee Pick Me Up Devotional at 6 a.m. Then at 7 a.m., we bring you The Morning Watch with intriguing and thought-provoking discussions. At 8:30 a.m., we discuss narcolepsy. So stick and stay with us. This Island Vibes Tuesday inside Love in the Morning, 5 to 10 a.m. on the Family Station, Love 101. Celebrating 30 years of music, family, and the morning.
Welcome back to Family Time on Love 101. And a big hearty welcome to Dr. Leakim Simaj, our special guest this evening. Welcome, sir. How are you doing?
I'm alive and well. Happy to be here.
Good. Great. Dr. Simaj is founder, chief ideator of Above or Beyond. He's a transformation psychologist and an author. His book, The Best Is Yet to Come, is going to form the basis of our discussion today. Now remember, we want to hear from you, our audience. And so we want to ask you to answer this question. How ready are you for retirement? WhatsApp your text and voice notes. Make sure the voice notes are no longer than 30 seconds. And the number you can send that to is 997-3125. And you can comment on our Facebook page or our YouTube channel. Call the studio lines as well. It's 968-8327 or 968-8328, and you can participate that way. Now, retirement is a time of life when one chooses or is forced to permanently leave the workplace behind. Are you ready? Have you been looking forward to it, planning for it? Have you even thought about it? Well, time goes really fast on this program, so let's jump in, get started, and hear what's so great about retirement. Doc, what's so great about retirement?
Well, it depends on how you look at it, and it depends how prepared you are for it. I have been helping companies with this mainly, for the last 10, 15 years. When people are close to retirement and they do a workshop to help them prepare and so on. And inevitably, the main question I get asked in the workshop, how come it's just now somebody tell me all these things? Because when you're retiring next month or next year, how come it's just now? So I've been really tired of asking that question. So all right, so it all came together in a book to make sure we understand just that why we need to know earlier and plan earlier. The other issue is that most of the discussion about retirement talks about financial planning, making sure you have money. Yeah? But even with that, it's less than 20% of Jamaicans have a pension plan. All right? And that's all people talk about most. But the reality is it's much, much bigger than that. If I can take a few minutes to explain, the concept of retirement was never intended to work. It was first started by Bismarck in Germany in 1890s or thereabout and so on. Now, at that time, the life expectancy for people was 48 years. That's when they first set retirement at 65. Then only about 3% of population would reach that age. So you could always talk about it, but most people would not reach that age. Now Americans are living to 80. Japanese are living to 85. Jamaicans are living to 75. Oh, by the way, Jamaican women, the men are just about 69, all right? So that it for the longest while, it was not intended to work. But with better healthcare and so on, what we have now is a longer lifespan. But I want to introduce another word, a word called health span. So we have longer lifespan. Now, what are we doing about the health span to make sure that we are healthy? On top of that, your life expectancy actually shift based on time, all right? So now somebody born in Jamaica today, life expectancy is 75, all right? But if you are 70, you technically, your life expectancy is about 15 more years. You understand? Because if you get to 70, that means you never fool. Walk in front of traffic. So that the older you get, each year your life expectancy shifts. So that it's a lot of time we have to work with, and most people are not planning for it. I remember about 10 years ago, I gave a workshop at the Ministry of Finance, and I mentioned this thing that there's a high mortality rate within 2 years of retirement. Meaning, 2 years after you get retirement, you get that check, a lot of people dead. This man was distraught because he was on the verge of retirement. He wanted to see the data. Every time I sent him all the data so he could. And the reason for that is, guess what now? Most people are not prepared for retirement psychologically and socially. Just imagine, after the first 3 months and you get a little relaxation, say you have some money put them, all right? But then after 3 months, every morning you look in the papers. Where you go first? The death column. To see, I guess after a while you start look for your name, see if you're in there. What happened for most retired people? What is the event they take part in the most? Funerals. Every phone call you get. Guess who died last week? Guess who not feeling well? Guess who? It is a depressing. So a lot of people are not prepared to go against that trend. And here is this time. Why do I call it the best is yet to come? I divide life into 4 stages. Just like in the relay, for me, the anchor leg is the strongest leg. Leg number 1, up until your early 20s. You're just kind of preparing life to get education and build a career. Say 20 to early 30s now, you're getting into your career, starting a family. How about from 35 now up to 65? That's the peak of your career. Your focus is on growing your family, nurturing them, and so on, and really advancing career-wise. But then the next level for me is 65 to 100. I just round it out at 100 because that's the anchor leg. And you should be ready for that anchor leg, so that because you don't know where to go after that. So if you're not prepared for the anchor leg, you could end up, so many people, they go into an immediate decline. Socially, there's a consultation. I work between Jamaica and Florida. There's a classic case that I had in Florida here. This man was a senior judge, retired about 2 years. But he was depressed. First of all, in money can't done, all right? In the US, a judge retires at the highest level of his salary and him have that forever and all of that. Huh? But what was the big thing? For the last 30 years of his life, when he enters a room, what do they say? All rise. Huh? No, him say when them go home, not even the dog stand up. Huh?
I hear you, sir. I hear you.
Nobody wants his opinion. Nobody. So if you don't prepare for that, with preparation, it should be the best time of your life. Now, so the book now talks about that now. Tells you all the plus and the minus, all the things that you can do, you should do. And the biggest problem is this word called old age. Look in the dictionary, the word old age. It has about 100 negative connotations. So I tell people, I don't do old age. I'm not innate with them. Because if you take on that mindset about old age, the only time I am 71, the only time I will use the so-called senior citizen options is when I go tax office. They have a special line. We give thanks for that.
And the bank.
I must the bank, they have a, but me not sit down, me not sit down business, no? But me take the ticket for that line. But outside of that, because listen, I am stronger than most men. I would say most men my age, except for professional athletes. Every other day I go to the gym, every other day I do a 5K. I bench press 175 pounds 10 times. All right. So
how old you said you were, sir?
71, sir. But you see, why this thing called exercise? Listen to me carefully now. Exercise is the best drug that facilitates longevity and keeps you healthy. It overcomes everything else. And the biggest problem, the main cause of death for the age, people over 60 years, is accidentally fall. Now, you don't fall and drop dead, but the results of the fall, what happens to your life after that? Because your body is frail, because you're incapacitated for 6 months because of the fall. I can tell that my father died at about 85, but the result of the fall, he fell in the tub. He was alone at home, and his hand hit the wall. It's an old apartment, and there was red ants in the wall. He fell, and he was unconscious, and the ants were eating on his hands for 2 days before somebody actually found him. All right? He was still alive, but just imagine the toxins and within about 5-7 days, all his organs, started failing. But it started with that fall. So I'm just saying that we have to start now getting people to be more aware of this thing called retirement. And you have to, the same way we talk about we prepare people for adolescence, prepare them for adulthood. But what's the preparation for that period of life now, which to me should be the time when, look, for most people, they have their faculties around them. They're sharp. Their knowledge base is intact. And I remember one group of civil servants I had a session with many years ago, and they wanted a whole list of things they wanted the government to give them as part of their retirement plan. They said, hold on, we can't even provide facilities for early childhood education. We don't want free gas and free food and free this and so on. My best proposal, listen, how about if that the government facilitate on retirement, every civil servant gets a grant for $1 million. What's wrong
Wow,
with that?
what a place to take a quick break, sir. We have to take a quick break now, and I'm going to invite
And
our
I'll tell you
listeners
why we
to
will come back. Why that
yeah,
$1 million?
right. Going to invite our listeners to answer the question, how ready are you for retirement? So don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with this riveting discussion that we are having.
Ooh la la. I see what I want at Phosphate Store-wide Summer Super Sale. Come get your wires, breakers, LED downlights, solar lamps, LED bulbs, standing fans, and so much more. Shop Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Come get your smart locks, smart bulbs, video doorbells, and video cameras. You can't afford to miss it. Come shop. Come save at Phosphate Super Sale, July 3 to August 31. See you there at Phosphate. Open Sundays.
Jamaica Central Bank digital currency is now here. Jamdex, no cash, no problem. Step into a future of ease, convenience, and security. Conduct business with your mobile device instantly and without fees. This is how life should be with Jamdex. You catch it free. Jamdex are the real free. Use it to buy a store bar TV. You can buy your shoes or 3Ps. Get the central bank digital currency. No cash, no problem. Jamdex, backed by the Bank of Jamaica.
Strawberry, chocolate snackables full of flavor. It depend the list, one leap of flavors. Butterkiss can't miss. From 19 how long, Butterkiss is amazingly good, great taste to savor. Butter make you slide into flavor, and that's why everybody pray for Butterkiss forever and ever. The original cookie is Butterkiss. Give me Butterkiss. Give me Butterkiss sandwich biscuit and cookie. Give me Butterkiss. Parrot cookie is a long time favorite, never miss. Give me Butterkiss. Give me Butterkiss.
Hey my peeps, get this on the regular. Your HIV status if you consider. The least of a test once a year. Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Cause it might not show up on your timeline and you learn too late so you're out of time. A progressive future, mandatory. Really long life, our story.
Remember, update your status in a real life. Go HIV test today.
Just 15 minutes and your status clear. Really long life, our story. Real long life was a youth coming from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Simplified customer due diligence requirements are used by financial institutions only where they have assessed a customer as being low risk for money laundering or financing of terrorism. Simplified customer due diligence requirements make it easier for customers to open accounts. This financial literacy tip was brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Cubby's Baby Wipes is ideal for your baby's delicate skin, infused with vitamin E and aloe vera, and available for home or on the go. The time by Cubby's Baby Wipes is...
Hi, good evening, and thanks for staying with us. The time is 5:49 p.m., and thank you for being with us as we welcome Dr. Simaj with us. Dr. Simaj is founder and chief ideator of Above or Beyond, a transformation psychologist as well, and he's an author, and he's our special guest this evening. Now remember to tell us your answer to the question, how ready are you for retirement? WhatsApp or text your voice notes to us. Make sure the voice notes are no longer than 30 seconds, and you can comment live on Love 101 Facebook or Love's YouTube channel. All right. The numbers to call us for the studio lines are 968-8327 and 968-8328. All right. We took a break just when Dr. Simaj was talking about $1 million, I think.
Yes, and I think first of all we have the money because the amount of money we have in the NIS and what people get in like $2,000 and so on and all of that. I mean, they need to adjust that to really take more money in and be able to give more money out. But why I say was run at $1 million? Look, why? You get $1 million, and the objective is for you to use it to start a business. Why? Can you imagine all the ideas in your head, all the things you've been thinking about all these years in the workplace, and you didn't have a chance to do them? But guess what? You see that $1 million, you're not going to eat it. You're going to use it constructively. And part of what you're supposed to do, you're going to hire some young people to do the more physical thing with what you're doing in the business, and you encourage them and you can guide them. You see, look at all these funds we have in Jamaica for young people to be entrepreneurs. They don't have no work ethics. They don't have no skills. What? But if you know that you're the 65-year-old person, you have the work ethics and the skills and so on, and then you will now mentor these young people, and everybody can eat the food. And you know why you're not going to eat the money at 65? You should be coming from prison, not going to prison. Reasonable? Now, the book, what I try to do with it, the most important part of the book, there's a workbook that asks you some serious questions, whatever your age is, for you to start thinking about. Because look, that's the anchor leg question. How do you see your life unfolding? How would you like it to unfold? What do you see? I mean, well, you want to be on the beach in France, you want to, how are you going to pay for that? How are you going to, all right? So tell me about your childhood. How was it growing up? How was your education? How was your work life? How was your family life? Look at all of these things. What were the strengths? What are the main takeaway you came from? You'd be surprised how many people carrying problems from childhood, or from school days, or from their relationship. And it's in retirement now, all that come in your head, you're, my God, all the regrets. All the regrets.
Doc, one of the things I wanted to do was ask a question on something you said before. You had mentioned the difference between health span versus lifespan. Now, when somebody is not prepared for the anchor leg, that anchor leg that you're describing, what impact does health span have versus lifespan?
Oh, they may have some degree of, because the numbers we quote, the 75 and so on, is lifespan.
Right.
But for a lot of people who are not prepared, who have not prepared themselves physically, forget about the money now, because that's a separate issue. Psychologically and socially, what they have lifespan but no health span, because their health has been declining significantly for the last 10 years of their life or the last 15 years of their life. Look how many I have a series of activities, exercise that I involve myself in. And this is coming out of it. There's a wonderful book that just came out by Dr. Peter Attia, where he talks about these issues. And he suggests that you put together your centenarian Olympic plan. Just imagine, what are the things you'd like to be able to do at 100? Make a list of those things. And how are you preparing yourself for them? This is the point I'm making.
Yes.
If you're not prepared, chances are, even if you have lifespan, you'll have no health span to do it. So, for example, what are the things? I like to be able to travel. I like to be able to carry my own luggage. Many of these airports, especially in America, it's some big airport,
Yeah, it's 2 miles. Yeah.
Yes. How are you going to that?
Yeah.
I saw some people, a lot of people are traveling in wheelchairs. Some of it is a gimmick because they do that to get on fast and so on. But I was on a flight on Friday. There were about 20 wheelchair passengers. But the flight was delayed and then delayed and then delayed. The 8 o'clock flight never leave until after 3:30.
Wow.
Just imagine persons confined to a wheelchair that whole time. How you go to the bathroom?
Uncomfortable. Yeah, that must be very uncomfortable.
Even the ones who are not even in the wheelchair now, all right? The many people, when they get on the plane, they can't lift their carry-on luggage to put it into the overhead bin.
Right.
Some they can't cook for themselves. They can't bathe themselves. Somebody have to literally bathe them because they don't have the strength to do that. So that's, I mean, just look at some of the basic things. So that's where you start the preparation so that you can have health span to accompany the lifespan.
And that
And that's why
involves physical, nutritional, emotional, relational, everything
ah
like that.
all of those factors. I'm glad you mentioned even
Right.
the emotional. It's like if you're having emotional issues and so on, it compounds everything.
Right.
But the physical exercise. Now, a lot of people just don't understand how important it is. Because as
Hmm.
the body becomes frail, one fall and you're in trouble.
Yeah, I hear you, sir.
You
There,
can't
there is a voice note that I'd love for us to hear.
Good afternoon, family time. I'm here listening to the program, very interesting program. I'm not ready yet for retirement. I don't make any plan for retirement at the age of 58. I want to, but boy, the meager salary, sometimes no job, and then bills and stuff like that. It's really hard, but I want to do that. I want to really put something aside for retirement. I must do that. Okay, and Mr. Samaj, my condolences to you on the mishap with your dad.
Thank you very much. But you see what you're going to see what she's talking about. She's not putting aside any money yet. No, that's where a lot of people start talking about. But the issue is bigger than money.
Right.
Because I'm saying that this era of your life, there are many people who have money but have no health
Yeah.
because they're not prepared completely. So, for example, whatever it is she's doing, how is she maintaining? What's her exercise program? What's her social connections? Your net worth is your net worth because that's where the stimulation comes in, the friends and family and people that you're interacting with and so on. There are many times when I'm on radio, used to be on radio around Christmas time and so on and holiday time, you get called from all these quote unquote old people, retired people at home alone. Now, guess what? You see, all the children who are abroad, they're not coming back to Jamaica, all right? So get that in your head. They're not coming back. If they do come back, they may come visit for one day, but then they go on North Coast, right? So I said, but all of you people calling me, say you're alone at home and you want there for, guess what? It's the same apartment building you're in. There are other people on that same floor who home alone too. So why don't you call them up and then you cook for everybody on Monday, Miss Jane cook for everybody on Wednesday, and etc. So you recreate your community so that it is that level of preparation we're talking about. And the book takes you through all the issues of the challenges and the plan, all the unresolved issues you have from your childhood, physically, mentally, emotionally. Huh? How relationships. By the way, one of the biggest growth areas now in terms of relationship issues, something we call gray divorce.
Say that again, sir. What do you call it?
Gray divorce.
Gray divorce. Okay. What does that mean?
People over 60 filing for divorce. Now you
Right.
say, but hold on. You've been together all this time. Why don't you gracefully go into old age and take care of each other and so on? But guess what is happening? By the way, most divorces are initiated by women. And especially gray divorce, disproportionately more women. But imagine this woman, she's 55, she's 58, she's 60. But she still feel healthy and strong and the old man she there with, with all his bad habits. No, she didn't know that with him. No, she don't want to grow old with that kind of. So she filed for divorce because she realized that her life expectancy is now between 75 and 80, 85. So she has 30 years ahead and she cannot project spending it with that little old man who no want to do nothing, and then all him come home and sit down and watch TV every day, and them no want go nowhere.
Wow.
So
There's
there's a
a
whole
lot.
chapter on how do you reignite your relationship? How do you
In
rediscover
retirement.
romance?
In
How do you-
retirement.
Absolutely. So it's a
Absolutely,
preparation
sir.
that anchor leg. If you don't prepare for it, you're destroyed.
We are destroyed. That's a good way to take a little break, sir. And we want to remind our listeners that they can just call in or send us a message or anything like that. And the numbers for the FLM head office in Kingston are 920-1034 and 926-8101. Don't go anywhere, all right? We're going to be right back.
Simplified customer due diligence is part of each financial institution's Know Your Customer process. As part of Simplified CDD, the information required includes a valid ID, tax registration number, and source of funds.
This financial literacy tip was brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Ames Alliance Health Division School of Allied Healthcare is now taking registration for September 2023 for pharmacy technician, medical assistant, phlebotomy, surgical, and dialysis technician. Tried and proven, cost-effective quality programs on offer. 876-924-0952, 924-0957, or 616-7799. Ames AHD, Kingston, Mandeville, and now in Black River. Ames Alliance Health Division, the paramedical institution of choice.
Charvet Distribution Limited, in association with New Vision Faith Apostolic Ministries, presents Gospel Celebration with Dietrich Haddon, Sherwin Gardner, Kevin Downswell, Rhoda Isabella, Petra Kay, Sister Pat, and others. Friday, July 28th at Sugarman Beach Helcher at 6 p.m. 5,000 pre-sold, 5,500 at the gate, VIP 9,000. Get your tickets at Gina, St. Diego, and York Pharmacies, New Vision Faith Apostolic Ministries International, and SpurOpen.com. Info lines 876-314-6243 and 876-861-5546. It's a gospel celebration.
Nestle Claim Fun Fest Family Festival is fun can done thanks to our partners Nestle Nestum, Nestle Lactogen 3, CB Food, Honeybun, New Pack, Cran Water, Bigger, Jamdex, Love FM, and Nestle Clim Growing Up Milk. Come enjoy Fun Fest Family Festival with family, friends, and fun. Tuesday, August 1st, Emancipation Day at Hope Gardens. Gates open at 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Come out early.
Win over $1 million in cash and prizes in the Yummy Summer Competition. Purchase any 4 different Yummy pastries. Write your name and number on your receipt. Send in with your Yummy salesman or drop off at the nearest supermarket or Yummy agency. 28 weekly prizes, 4 winners every week, plus grand draw August 28th for a laptop. $60,000, $30,000, plus a Yummy basket and back-to-school vouchers. Grand prize, a family weekend for 4 at the Holiday Inn. It's the Yummy Summer Competition, authorized under Section 58(3) of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act.
I love summer. I love it. I love summer. Oh, I love it. I love summer. I love it. 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 Oh, I love summer. I love it. I love summer. Oh, I love it. I love summer. I love it. 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 I love it.
Back, everyone, and yes, it is summer. We love summer. Retirement, that is aging, does not mean that your lives are over. And one of the things we've been hearing from our guest, Dr. Simaj, is that retirement takes preparation. We have to prepare very carefully for it, and we have to do the best we can on these 4 legs of the relay. And I am inviting Dr. Simaj to come back in. Let's let's continue the discussion. Doc, one of the things that before you mention it, one of the things I was looking at with those 4 legs of the relay is that the third leg, although it's not the anchor leg, it is a critically important leg, and it feeds into the anchor leg. If you don't catch up to that, if you don't catch up to that anchor leg well enough, things are going to drop. What are some ways that we can ensure we don't drop the baton between the third and the fourth leg?
Absolutely. Well, clearly, one of the things, let's start with us, the financial. Yeah, you want to hand off at that third leg at your highest earning capacity, because whatever the way you work out, the highest earning capacity to make sure that you have things. And some people don't understand. Look, you're in a job, even if it doesn't have a good retirement plan or so on, but chances are where you work, they have a health plan, huh? So at least, especially men don't use them health plan. Man no go doctor. Huh? So at least use it in the latter years to make sure you check out everything. The biggest problem men have in retirement is all those ailments that they take into retirement that they should have started dealing with from long ago. So at least, or make sure all the physical, all the aspects, everything needs to be checked out. It's checked out. And whatever you need to do to maximize your earning, so that you need to make some decisions then in that leg 3. How much you're going to be spending on sporting and entertainment and on fun versus to make sure that when the money coming in, huh? I mean, I remember advising someone in terms of what you see, when you have a house or even a townhouse as opposed to an apartment, a little place with a little dirt in front of you and around the side, you can plant something to eat, Even just attending to the garden is exercise.
It's good outdoor exercise, yes.
Excellent. And you're also getting some food. So even just being able to do that, right, is very important. So that it is during this time you ask yourself the question like, how are you going to reinvent and rewire yourself? Because, you have a good, for the average person, they're going to have 20 years once they leave the workplace. How are you going to spend that time? What are you going to do with it? How are you going to reinvent yourself? 2, how is your health and fitness and intellectual growth integrated into your lifestyle? Again, if all you're doing is go work and go home and go work and go home, how have you been growing intellectually and so on, and mentally and socially? That's part of the preparation. How will you reignite the passion and rediscover your spouse so you don't drift apart in retirement? There's nothing as beautiful as watching 2 old people, life in synchrony. They're going to the gym together, they're going for a walk together, they get to entertain each other, they are there for each other. How do you plan to do volunteer service to give back, to maintain contact with young people, so you're learning from them as well as they're learning from you? What about your encore career?
No, say that again. What about your what?
Encore. When you do.
Oh, come back out again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your encore career.
Right.
So, for example, you're an accountant, you retire, but you realize that you can do accounting work for some small business and individual from home.
Right.
What you need a software package, and you need a computer and internet. Huh?
Right.
What about teaching?
Mm-hmm. Do some tutoring in the evening?
Absolutely. But you start from early to plan for your encore career.
Absolutely, sir. This is the third leg we're still talking about. We don't reach the anchor leg yet.
No, exactly, but you're absolutely correct. What you do in that third leg is most critical, because it's your last chance now before the handoff.
Sir, there is a YouTube comment that I'd love for us to get to get to. Go ahead, studio. Oh, it says, I am very ready. Looking forward to it. This is Donna Chambers. Can't wait to just get up to nothing specific to do. Can't wait to just go on my time. How does that sound, Doc?
Donna, be very careful because let's break down the retirement now. Huh? Retirement is broke. The first stage of retirement is called the vacation period. For some people, it lasts 3 months. For some people, it lasts a year. You just get up when you want. You're doing nothing. But after that comes the emptiness period. Because all the connections that you had, most of the connections came via work.
Right.
And just imagine now, your connections are broken, and most of the people you're interacting with, well, I'm not feeling too well, Roland. Guess who did last week? And the most common event you're going to every week is funeral. It started to take its toll on you. So it is no longer is preparing now. And then now, if you weren't investing in your health and your wellness and your fitness and so on, and the various ailments start to kick in now, and the fact that in between going to the funeral, you have a doctor's appointment every week. So you understand why you have to actively prepare for that other lifestyle. And then now, the thing with the encore career is that it keeps you active. A couple of years ago, I started introducing this, in a sense, to the work world in Jamaica from the standpoint. I do hiring for many companies. And they want to hire somebody, a manager to help start this, So hold a minute. What about a recently retired person who have all the skill set? They're not looking for a full-time job. Or how about give them a 3-month contract to set this thing up for you and get it running? Or to come in part-time and they can coach somebody and so on and come in 3 days a week. And because these people, it is for me one of Jamaica's source of prosperity. Recently retired people with all that skill and knowledge and competence sitting home doing nothing.
Yeah, I agree with you 100% on that, Doc. And there are cultures where we value the wisdom and the knowledge of our elders. But there are other cultures that just want to put them out to pasture, and the elders no longer serve a purpose, maybe because they can't jump and run like the young people. But what you are saying, as I understand it, is that we need to re-engage them thoroughly in every aspect of our society, work, play, church, whatever it is. Re-engage the retired and people who have, for want of a better term, finished their first job. Exactly. As you said, the encore career.
The encore career now, because
bring them in.
And you know that the classic story, is that it's at 65. Colonel Sanders started and founded KFC.
Absolutely.
He was retired. They put a highway through Kenton Place, and the gas station was now beyond the highway, and nobody was coming to buy him chicken and so on. And that's when the whole idea came up, and he worked with a plan where he would sell the recipe, and then you give him 5 cents off of each chicken you sell. No, it's a multi-billion-dollar, but that's what he was 65 when that process started.
That's amazing.
Our retired persons. So for me, the book, the most important aspect of this book is that there's a workbook that takes you through. It asks you all the hard questions. The best is yet to come. It's available on Amazon. All the hard questions. So whichever space you are in, you can know if you're in your 40s or 30s. What are the things you need to start line up? If you are in, as you pointed out, if you are on the third leg, the bend, that bend going around. If you're on that third leg now, what do you do to maximize your preparation? Because it's your last chance now.
It's your last chance.
What if you're already in the ankle leg?
In the ankle leg, Doc, we are about at our last break. So when we come back, I would love for you to delve into that. And we just want to remind people that we are talking about family time. This is live on Love 101 FM on YouTube and on Facebook, and it's produced by Family Life Ministries. For our social media interaction, we want you to answer this question: how ready are you for retirement? You've already answered, some of you, but we want to get some more answers as well. Let us know via WhatsApp and voice notes. And the voice notes are to be no longer than 30 seconds. All right? Don't go away. This evening we're talking about retiring. The best is yet to come. And we have with us Dr. Lakim Samaj, who is founder and chief ideator of Above or Beyond. He's an author and he's a transformation psychologist. Stick around. There's more to come.
All-American Institute of Medical Sciences, AIMS, a top-ranking medical school, 66 High Street, Black River, St. Elizabeth. Programs on offer include Associate Degree in Health Sciences, Bachelor of Science in Optometry, and a Doctor of Medicine. Low student-to-faculty ratio, low tuition costs, with up to 40% scholarships for Jamaica National USMLE courses. www.aims.edu.jm 876-634-4068. AIMS, medical education par excellence. Still accepting applications for September 2023.
I could be you.
Or me.
A member of the family, brother, sister, mother.
A member of your community, pastor, policeman, neighbor.
I could be you, but for me, every door says no entry.
Nobody is their HIV status. Come on, join us.
After all, I could be you. Join us.
Join us. Let's work together to stop HIV discrimination. Be a champion for change. A message from the National Family Planning Board.
Here's why you can't afford to miss the Morning Watch.
I love listening to the Morning Watch because topics are discussed and issues are highlighted that are of major importance, which in turn edify me.
The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
I like listening to the Morning Watch. I find it very informative. I find it very interesting. The topics that are covered are very, very wide.
The Morning Watch, thought-provoking, insightful, current. Listen for the probing questions with attorney at law Stokely Marshall and the in-depth discussion with Reverend Dr. Dylan Toussaint. Every Wednesday, the Morning Watch is brought to you by Chris and Charles. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles. Every first and third Wednesday, the Morning Watch is brought to you by Home and Things. Home and Things, your construction finishes superstore. The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The Morning Watch is on the family station Love 101.
Welcome back. And it is now 18 minutes past 6. And we are in a hot Jamaican summer talking about retiring. The best is yet to come. You're tuned to Love 101 FM, and this is Family Time, brought to you by Family Life Ministries. Family Life Ministries provides counseling for people with all kinds of challenges from all walks of life. Listen out for our numbers in Kingston and Portmore at the end of this program. Remember, we are on Facebook and we are on YouTube Live. So tune into the program via the Facebook page and our YouTube channel. With us this evening is transformation psychologist and author of the book, The Best Is Yet to Come, Dr. Lakim Samaj. And he has been sharing some excellent things with us. Before we go back to what we were talking about, I believe we have another comment that I'd love for us to share. And the comment is this: good evening. Great program as usual. Please ask the doctor to share his opinion on an individual over 65 years of age doing a degree.
Listen, I love it. I love it. One of the most amazing things is about this time of the year, between May, June, July, over the last 20 years. There's always a wonderful story. about somebody and their child, or somebody and their grandchild graduating together. Huh?
Yeah, that's true. Yes, I've been hearing that for real.
It's always, I mean, there was a story recently. This woman is something like 90 something, and she finally went back and got her high school diploma. But
Yeah.
this other woman was at 90 or just finished her PhD, so that it is never too old. And if there's something that you've always wanted to do, here's a chance to do so. And especially if you're in a situation where there's a context where it can be funded and so on, you don't cut yourself short. But you're going back to school because look here, I guess the encore career, sometimes there's something that you want to do, but you need a new skill set. You need to pivot. So that if you can even go get a certification, go get a diploma or even a degree, because you want to do something else, because the mind is sharp.
Mm-hmm.
The mind is sharp. The kind of fluid intelligence is still available. You may not be physically strong as somebody in their 20s and 30s, but you can be as mentally sharp. So
or even sharper.
Or even sharper.
But because boy, Doc, you said that you're 71, but I don't think I'd try to test you in anything more than so. Maybe only you wouldn't encourage it.
I wouldn't encourage it.
All right, so let me ask a question, Doc. When we started, you had mentioned the fact that this idea of retirement came about in a certain context, and that it never really seemed to work. It is not an idea that
intended to work. So when they offered people to give them something at 65,
yes,
not more than 3% of the population would ever reach that age.
Would ever reach there. So
right.
Here is my question. Are we in our discussion now really talking about retirement, or are we talking about simply another phase of our life?
That's why the book, The Best Is Yet to Come.
Right.
It has not caught up with reality. In the United States, well, many countries in Europe have now added on some time. Look what happened in France recently when they were trying to increase the retirement age. They're trying to, because they had reduced it to 60, but they realized that cannot work, because you can't, the working age population is too small to support this larger and larger
aging population. Right.
This aging population.
Right.
So that they're gonna have to, people will have to be able to work longer. But guess what? You have a longer period ahead of you. But what we know, what you individually have to focus on now is not just your lifespan, your health span. That's your call. How are you going to maintain your health and wellness? Because even places where people have the money for the retirement, but they don't have no health.
Right.
Health is so expensive. One accident or one illness, the money done.
Away from poverty, maybe. There is a part to this, Doc, that I don't think we have explored, and I would love to get your take on it. And it is that the physical health span is perfect. You are physically well and able to live up to 110. However, mental issues kick in, and things like Alzheimer's or other kinds of mental issues prevent you from being able to do what you would normally want to do. How do we prepare for that?
Would you believe it's the same issue? Exercise, diet is. Recently, we heard about some drug that they're testing, but the exercise, fitness, lifestyle issues is your best antidote, is your best preparation for it. So that we can plan for that's going to happen. But the fitter you are, the more alert you are, the more you keep the mind working, is the easier and the better chance you have of staving off that mental deterioration.
Right.
Persons who literally have started deteriorating much earlier because there'd be nothing to challenge their mind.
Right.
Their mind is not growing at all. So that the best we can do is to stay alert and well and you keep active so that you can literally, that mental aspect can be sustained and that health span can be there for the rest of your life.
Absolutely, sir. One other thing I would want to ask you, if you were to speak to your former self, to yourself when you were on the first leg, or if you were on the second leg, don't speak to yourself when you're on the third leg. Speak to yourself
Yeah.
on either the first or the second leg. What advice would you give yourself now that you know what you know?
Boy, well, I think I did because I've been physically and mentally active my entire life. So that part,
Right.
What I've done differently, at no point.
Oh, no, sorry. No, I don't mean that you're giving him different advice. Maybe you'd say to him, you know something, Lakim, do exactly what you did before, and this is what you did. The reason I'm asking that is, what would you say to another Lakim who is coming up after you, another person who has as much potential coming up? What would you say to them?
No, I would say do things in the second and third leg that can result in passive income for the rest of your life. Because I was geared towards things that I wanted to do and I could do and I actively, and I was never really interested in setting up things to generate passive income. I mean, there's some basic method that people can use, so you have passive income locked in for the rest of your life. So that is the other thing that I would strongly advise myself. And many opportunities I got, I did not make use of them to lock in passive income that would be self-sustaining indefinitely.
Absolutely. That's a very, very good bit of advice. Doc, this has been so interesting. Could you tell us again where we can get your book?
Amazon. It's available in Amazon, and you can download it on Kindle. Can play on anything.
Right.
Kindle plays on your phone, on your computer. In about a week or 2 weeks' time, the paperback will be available also from Amazon. But immediately, and the audiobook is also available from my website.
Are you reading the audiobook? Are you reading it?
Yes, I read the audiobook myself.
Awesome.
It's available on the website is www.thebestisyettocome.online.
Okay,
so that
great.
Things you can get the book through the website, you can get the audiobook from the website and everything. But Amazon, you can go also between Amazon on the website, you can access the book and the consultations and the workshops, because I see this as something that is absolutely needed.
Absolutely. And you had mentioned there was a workbook as well, right?
Okay. What I did, I incorporated the workbook into the book.
So
you don't have to buy the workbook separately, but the workbook,
fine.
They ask you all the questions and you can go through them to identify exactly where you are and what you need to work on to strengthen yourself.
Excellent. Thank you very much for that, sir, and thank you for joining us.
Yes, my brother, the best is yet to come.
Amen. All right. If you have questions of a personal nature or are concerned about a friend or a family member, call us at Family Life Ministries. And for more information on our services or for our counselors in Kingston and the other parts of the island, contact our head office at 920-1034 or 926-8101. Please note that our Portmore Family Life Ministries office is now closed. So all counseling matters should be referred to the Kingston office at 1 Cecilia Avenue, Kingston. All right? Or you can contact us via the numbers that we just shared. You must call to make all appointments. Otherwise, to keep up to date with what's happening with Family Life Ministries and our programs, find us on Facebook at FLM Family Life Ministries and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Family Life Ministries, FLMJA. Before we leave you today, here is the evening's Bible verse. It says, "Be submissive to those who are older. All of you, clothe yourselves with humility toward one another, because God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble." That's from 1 Peter 5, verse 5. Join us again next week at 5:30 p.m. on Love 101 FM, Facebook, and on YouTube Live via the Love 101 Facebook page and our YouTube channel. Thanks again to our special guest, Dr. Leakim Samaj. Thanks also to our show producer, Kathy Gale, Open Door Communications, our studio facilitator, Timoy Butler, and of course, you, our very special guests. Stay well, stay safe, stay blessed. I'm Roland. Have a good evening.